Well, welcome to Extra Point on Southwestern Montana News. Today on the program, brought to you by 82 Coffee Company, Susan McCray Accounting, and Town & Country Foods. We have Beaverhead County High School Activities Director Brock Myllymaki. And Brock, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Wally.
Well,
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like you're one of those faces and names that's been around Dillon for a long time, but I bet you there's a lot of people out there that don't know who you are. So as I told you before we went on, I'm going to ask you the Brock Myllymaki scouting report. Let's do a little skinny, let's get a little background on Brock. So
Hometown, Dillon, Montana.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. Although you were born in Bozeman.
Born in Bozeman, spent a few of my younger years in Billings, but eventually made our way to Dillon.
Yeah. Your dad came here to work for Vigilante Electric, and you've been here ever since, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. High school, of course, so I got to say Dillon Beaver.
Yep. Graduate class of 2008.
And you were one of those rare Beavers. There's a few of you guys out there, but you happened to grasp a couple of state championships at least. How many state championships between basketball and football do you claim on your resume?
Claim 2 playing in football and 1 in basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, been a part of a few in my coaching years, and now as this new role, we've been fortunate enough to grab a few more.
Okay. And college, you didn't go very far. You stayed right here.
No.
No?
Been a Bulldog through and through since we moved here, so went to Western, played football up there for 4 years, and graduated from there in 2012.
What was your degree?
Business administration, and then went back and finished my education.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you ever decided that you wanted to leave administrative and get into teaching and coaching, you're set. You just need to grab your license and go, right?
Well, I have it.
Okay.
I went back after I graduated with the business administration and got my education license.
So do you need that in your present position as activities director? Do you need that to have? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You have to have that certificate to do my role. Yep.
But you didn't get into education when you graduated. You became a banker.
Yeah, I spent 6 years at Stockman Bank. Really enjoyed it there, but always was trying to find a way to get back into the schools. Just kind of where my passion is with kids, and this community has given me so much. And if I can give a little bit back to the high school that taught me everything that I grasp to now, I thought I would try to do that.
Well, volunteer coach, excuse me, that seems to be kind of one of those key ingredients to the success of BCHS athletics over the year. And the guy who I think of when I think of volunteer coaches is Gary Ferris.
Absolutely, yeah. No, we're very fortunate to have people that are willing to step into roles and go unpaid, and they earn it, absolutely, but without them, we wouldn't have the success we have.
So when you were a volunteer coach while you were a banker, what did you do, both sports, or did you concentrate on football or basketball?
Started as a volunteer with football, then a position opened and I was able to get on staff, a paid staff, but spent 9 years coaching football, and then 5 years working with Coach Thomas and that crew as a volunteer on that staff.
Okay. So now you're a banker, you're sitting at Stockman Bank, you've got a good gig going on, and all of a sudden somebody tells you that there's this new position open at the high school, activities director. How long did it take you to decide that you were going to apply for that?
Didn't take me long.
30 seconds?
30 seconds. I thought it would be kind of a long shot with no experience. Just having that education degree, but I wasn't in the classroom yet, but I knew I'd work hard for what I earned, and that's kind of, I threw my name in the hat and very fortunate that I was selected for that role.
Well, and we have to clarify too, because there's a misconception out there that you're the Beaver Athletic Director, and that's not your title. It's
No.
Activities Director, which is what we talked about before we went on too, is your umbrella of job responsibility is pretty big.
Yeah, we try to cover the gamut there with, we have obviously all the athletics, but then we have all the clubs and co-curricular things that go on in the school. So try to keep my tabs on all those things going on, and it's it's a lot, but it's great to work with all the students throughout our school.
Well, and just briefly, what's the day like as activities director? I mean, I'm sure, as my notes are, I'm sure that you're involved with scheduling games for the athletics. You probably have to schedule the speech meets, drama meets, and all that. That's all under your umbrella. So what's an average day like on Brock's desk?
Depending on what day it is, but yeah, a lot of scheduling. Obviously, working with our transportation department, making sure we're on time. You know, winters you're always changing departure times because of roads conditions, and working with the other ADs across the state to, try to come up with ideas and plans that give our students across the state the best opportunities and the best experiences they can have.
Well, you talked about travel, and we're in the wintertime, and I don't know what it is, but the last couple Fridays that we've done an extra point. We've driven to the studio in a snowstorm or the aftermath of a snowstorm. What kind of decision process is, say you've got a game in Hamilton, you've got to go to the Bitterroot, and a storm like this falls, and maybe it hasn't gone away. Like right now, it's starting to clear off, and the sun's coming out. Mm-hmm. But what if that doesn't happen? What's the discussion like? Do you get on the phone with your counterpart at Hamilton High School or Stevensville and kind of figure out what's going on? Maybe change the time of the games or the departure. How much? That's the kind of stuff that people don't understand what goes on in your office.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of back and forth. Obviously, we'll reach out to the, wherever we're traveling, see what the weather like is over there. But fortunately for us, if we're going that direction, we run the Wisdom route bus, and so that's our best report, is that bus driver running, what is it, about 90 miles, 70 miles into town, and they give us a good road report. And then working with our transportation director, Jack Bergeson, and he's always on top of it, and I lean on him a lot to make those decisions. If he feels that we can make the journey, we're going to make the journey.
So scheduling, I remember a couple of years ago, you had an open date on your calendar. I think it was right after COVID or something like that, and we got a game with Sydney, just kind of it wasn't a scheduled game when the season started. But how does something like that happen? I mean, when there's an opening and stuff, do you get on the phone? Do they call you? Do you have to call the high school association? What's kind of like the work involved in something like that?
Yeah, it's just the stars have to align for things like that. But you look at what the East has got going on, and if you get an open date with an East team, it's always, you want to try to take advantage of it, because we don't get a lot of crossover as far as football goes, or any sports. So if we can get over to the East and see what they have to offer, it's a huge advantage for us to kind of gauge where we're at and what we might see in the postseason.
Well, and this week is kind of a quiet week as far as events go. I'm looking at purely the athletic calendar. There could be stuff going on other than what's going on with the teams getting ready for divisionals. How's this week look?
This week, as far as athletics, it's quiet, but we just had Vision Zero week, which FCCLA put on throughout the whole week. So we had activities all week. We had a guest speaker yesterday and it was a lot of fun. Kids were very engaged, very involved, and so Miss Conan and myself worked together a little bit on that. Obviously, she did most of the workload there, but we always have something going on down there.
So what was that? Explain that a little, that event that just happened. You said it was...
The Vision Zero week is basically talking about the safety of driving. The kids did pledge that they'd wear their seatbelts on Monday. Tuesday, they were in the parking lot early checking kids if they were wearing their seatbelts. Wednesday, they did some fun activities. We had the police department down there, the EMTs. They did some stuff in the gym. And then Thursday, we had the guest speaker come in and talk for about an hour and a half. And today, they're just reading some stats, Montana stats of, what can happen out there on the roads, and giving out some prizes.
Okay. So you're kind of giving it a definition of just how broad your job really is, more than just figuring out where the Beavers are going to play on Saturday, mm-hmm. or figuring out a schedule and whatnot. When you do a season schedule, is there some kind of template that you use? I know in the college circles, it's like Frontier Conference. If you play if you play at Rocky this year, the first of the year, then the following year you play at Rocky the end of the year if you're playing two. What kind of template is set up for when you're doing the scheduling?
Yeah, so a lot of it, we have these committees across Class A or across the state that create these master schedules that get you, your games for the week. A lot of times it's for basketball, for example, it's 2 games a week. You kind of pick and choose what day you play those on, but yeah, it's just a lot of work put in by a lot of people to make sure we're not playing teams in Libby all the time. We're playing our area teams because it does cost some money to travel.
And then, and you, the question I've heard a lot of people ask is, why don't the boys and girls travel together? I mean, in college, you remember the Frontier days, the men and women travel together, they play double headers. Mm-hmm. Is there a reason why they don't do that in the high school ranks, or is that something that's been considered?
Yeah, so this year we actually added I think about 3 more double headers. So families and fans can go to one place and watch both games. As far as them traveling together on the bus, we do a little bit of that, but we just have too many kids with 3 teams that we can't fit them all on one bus. But maybe we'll see a few more double headers. I think it's great for our community to watch the boys and girls play in one night. And then when we go on the road, you got the support of both programs there as well, instead of divided.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a little break, and we'll come back with more with Brock on Extra Point on Southwestern Montana News.
Looking for made in Montana food products? Look no further than Town and Country Foods of Dillon.
Okay, we're back to Extra Point, and in the studio today, Brock Myllymaki, Activities Director at BCHS. And Brock, one thing that's been impressive to me over the years, and in particular the last couple of years, it's been pretty stellar, is the percentage of students at BCHS who are involved in some type of extracurricular activity. And I'm not just talking about on the athletic side, I'm talking across the board.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We actually just ran the survey just this last week. I haven't seen the results yet, but just going off of years past, I think there was like 10% of our student body, 10 to 15% that was not involved in some sort of extracurricular, co-curricular club. So, we take great pride in trying to offer things that cover all interests of our students, and we just encourage them to be involved and committed to what we have to offer.
Well, you got a football state championship out of the year. That's not a bad thing to have. But then again, you were just telling me too about, was it a debate, some kind of debate event that you went to that impressed you?
Yeah, absolutely. Our speech and drama team actually won the Western A Divisionals this year. Went up to Columbia Falls and competed for a state championship there. Ended up taking 3rd. I was just super proud of them. It was my first year we didn't even have a team. And then year 2, we had about 5 to 7 folks out for that. And then looking at year 3, we're bringing home hardware from the postseason event. So it's really special, really cool to see those kids involved in that. Got to watch the showcase, I believe it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and was just blown away at their talents. It was a very impressive thing to see. Yep.
Who's your speech and drama coach?
Jordan Plutt.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, another Dylan person.
Yep. Yep. No, she does a fantastic job with those kids, and I know they have a great time being a part of her program.
Well, they talk about kids participating in athletics helps them when they get out in the world and stuff like that, just the leadership and blah, blah, blah. But something like this, too, is the same way. I mean, you don't have to be a football or basketball player to get those leadership skills. And when you compete in these extracurricular and do really well at them, the benefits are endless.
Absolutely. No, I think just being involved in a team or club, or if it's an individual sport or anything like that, it just holds them accountable. They know they got to put in the hard work and surround themselves with people that are striving for the same type of successes. So.
Well, and I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here a little bit. Past BCHS drama productions, it seems like every once in a while there's a faculty or staff person that becomes part of the cast. Gets themselves on the stage. Do we foresee Brock maybe becoming on the stage in a part in a drama production one day?
I don't know if anybody wants to see that, but I sure if enough students talk to me, maybe we could work some sort of arrangement out.
Okay.
But it's going to be a little give and a little take.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
Just curious. Just got to throw that out at you. Okay. Back to the athletic side of things. 3 new sports added to BCHS athletics in the last few years: softball, baseball, and girls wrestling. All relatively new sports. How's that going with those 3 sports?
Great. I think we added softball in 2012, so it's fairly new, but it's been around for a while. The addition of baseball this past year has been great. Hopefully, we'll continue to see that sport grow throughout the state. We're seeing the Billings at it, Missoula, and potentially Great Falls schools, and so no, it's been great. It's a learning curve, but I know the kids are excited to be involved in that. Girls wrestling. This is our 3rd year of girls wrestling. We just had some history made, I guess, at Beaverhead County High School with Tyler Gibson and Faye Holland being the first divisional champions of girls wrestling. So
wow.
Yep. No,
Wow.
It's very cool. I believe it's probably the fastest growing sport maybe in the entire country is girls wrestling.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Well, and you had mentioned, we had talked on the phone a while ago, you had mentioned that you have taken your daughters to a wrestling. Was it a practice or was it a meet?
Yeah, they've been at a few practices. They go, they're always at the meets since I'm there. They get to come see Dad. But for my 4-year-old Frankie, she's wearing dresses and dressing up as a cheerleader and little princess stuff. But when she gets out, she's always like, Dad, I want to go watch the girls wrestle. So it's cool to see them engage and seeing girls out there in that wrestling environment. And it's really encouraging to see that there is a bunch of girls out there that would like to do that.
Okay, well, winter sports, divisional tournament next week, and then there's, I believe, a week break, and then the state tournament. And then from the time the state tournament ends, how much lag time is it for those kids that participate in the spring sports? Is there much I know I remember talking to some of the Beavers that were here during football season, and they said basically they turn in their football gear and pick up their basketball gear. So is that about the time frame?
Yeah, I mean the football players that played basketball, we actually started basketball before their season was over. It's going to be the same for if we're fortunate enough to make the state tournament. If you're in baseball practice starts the week of state basketball, and then you'll turn around and the track, softball, and tennis, they get one day off Sunday, and away we go on Monday.
Well, and you've had 2 new coaches in basketball. You had Josh Keller and Jeff in basketball, but you have a new softball coach too, I believe.
Yep, Alyssa Creighton's going to be leading the charge in the softball program. Really excited to have her on board, and looking forward to a new season with her. And we just got approved through the board to move out to the Ray Lynch Park, so we're going to be playing out at Ray Lynch, and really excited to be out there with those new fields, with all the work that those that group of folks put in out there.
Okay, okay. Well, you talked about how popular girls wrestling is. There's another sport out there that's kind of gaining momentum across the country too, and that's flag football for girls. So, don't want to put you on the hot seat or anything else, but has there been any discussion among you and the staff and the school board and stuff about possibly adding that, or is it mainly just a discussion item?
It's kind of the initial stages. We've talked about it briefly. Right now, we're pretty satisfied with what we have, but always looking for new opportunities if there is interest there. But maybe down the road we might see it, but currently we kind of like what we're offering right now.
Okay, well, we're going to close this. We're going to, when we were talking about the scouting report on Brock, we kind of left out one important detail because we want to close with that one. You're not the head guy in the Myllymaki family. So, but you've got a great wife who is also a Dillon girl.
Yep.
And you mentioned 2 daughters. How about a little bit about Brock's other team?
Well, they're the 3 girls are the rock of the family. Obviously, I put in a lot of time in the gym and late nights, so my wife takes on the role of holding the fort down for me, and it's always a pleasure to have them come to the games and spend a little bit of time with Dad before bedtime. So, but no, I can't thank my wife enough for everything she does and the sacrifices she's made for me to be able to do this job. I can never repay.
Well, we better give her a name.
Bailey Myllymaki, 5th grade teacher down at the elementary school.
Okay, yeah. And you mentioned one daughter, Frankie.
Yep, Frankie and Max. Frankie just turned 4 Monday. Max turned 2 today. So.
Oh, that's right. You were saying big birthday celebration.
Yeah, so
today.
we're gonna have a big birthday party tomorrow, and we'll have a lot of fun with that.
Okay. Well, Brock, I want to thank you for coming in and being a guest on Extra Point. We appreciate it. You're doing great things down there. You've got a great staff. It's got to be a fun place to work, fun place to direct, and to basically return home. That's nifty. That's nifty.
Absolutely. I enjoy everybody I work with and get to see every day, and I can't thank them enough, and just enjoy the heck out of this job. So.
Brock Myllymaki, Activities Director at Beaverhead County High School. And that does it for Extra Point. Our program today brought to you by 82 Coffee Company, Susan McRae Accounting, and Town & Country Foods. We'll see you next time on Extra Point on Southwestern Montana News.